Hi, I'm Steve. You can call me Steve. Like most people with hair, I need to wash it. Look, I'm trying to make this relevant, just go with it. As a chemist, I have a pretty good understanding of the list of ingredients on the side of the shampoo bottle, and what they do. A lot of other people find all those incomprehensible polysyllabic words a little intimidating. Let me help demystify that for you. I have here something called a special color shampoo, which is designed for people who dye their hair and want that color to stay colorful. Personally, I leave my glorious locks their natural color, even if I'm not 100% sure what that color is. The ingredients list here has 31 items on it, most of them with really long names. The order these items are listed in, and the terms manufacturers are allowed to use to describe them, are governed by regulations that vary from country to country. If anything seems weird on this list, it's probably because of weird regulations. Rather than go through all 31 of these individually, I'm going to group them by function. It's water. The reason they call it aqua has to do with those weird rules I mentioned earlier. While there are local variations in the regulations, there have also been efforts made to standardize terminology across the globe. This makes it easier to market your products in a bunch of different countries, because it's a huge burden to print 20 different labels for 20 different jurisdictions. The set of rules is called the International Nomenclature of Cosmetic Ingredients, and a lot of the terms it uses are derived from Latin, like aqua here. You can either argue that there are more countries that speak languages descended from Latin, therefore the Latin term will be more recognizable in more places, or that nobody speaks Latin anymore and everybody will be equally confused. This particular bottle has helpfully translated aqua into both of Canada's official languages. The point of shampoos is to get your hair clean, and this is how they do it. I talked about how soaps work in a previous video, so I'll give you the quick version here and link to the full video. Soaps and shampoos are surfactants, which means a long molecule with an end that likes water and an end that hates it. A bunch of surfactant molecules will stick their water-hating tails together and form a blob called a micelle, and that creates an anti-water environment in the middle of the water that your grease on your skin and hair will prefer to go into. Surfactants also make bubbles and foam as a side effect, so they're responsible for all of that lather. While the names look very chemically, most of these things are made from ingredients extracted from plant oils. This makes absolutely no difference whatsoever, but it might allay some fears. Parfum is the French word for perfume, and is used for the same reasons as aqua. I freely acknowledge I am probably pronouncing both of those words wrong. The other two names on that slide are simply the scientific names for tea tree and rooibos, and they have to be described that way for the same reason that water is aqua. While both of those plants have uses outside cosmetics, none of their properties seem beneficial to cleaning your hair, so I think these are just scents. Shampoo works best when it's a liquid. You want it to flow well and not turn into a thick molassy tar. The best way to do that is to prevent any water in it from leaving. Things like glycerin, also known as glycerol, are great at this. All those OH groups hanging off it grab and hang on to the water molecules, so the moisture content of the shampoo stays where it should be. Those moisturizers aren't just for the shampoo though. Panthenol binds quite readily to your hair and makes it nice and shiny. These things show up in creams and lotions as well to help moisturize your skin. You want your shampoo to have a shelf life. Usually we think of preservatives as things you put in food to stop them going bad. Cosmetics can go bad as well, especially things like this that contain botanical ingredients that microbes might want to eat. Going bad doesn't just mean bacteria though. The organic molecules can oxidize slowly just by sitting in air. So antioxidants are added that will react with oxygen first and protect the important ingredients. Incidentally, sodium benzoate is harmless. I did a lab experiment at university where we had to eat a gram of it the night before the lab, and then collect our urine and bring it in for analysis. I elected to use the synthetic stuff the lab techs prepared, not because I was scared of eating a perfectly normal food additive, but because I was too embarrassed to carry around a jar of my pee. I've cheated a little bit here and combined two kinds of thickeners into one category. chemicals that make the shampoo thicker, and chemicals that make your hair thicker. PEG 150 is a polymer, a long chain of repeating units. PEG in this case stands for polyethylene glycol. It's what makes shampoo a gooey gel instead of an ordinary liquid like water. Maltodextrin is derived from cornstarch. It's a very short chain of sugar molecules, and it's used to thicken certain foods. It also thickens your hair, although in a different way. Very fine hair has very little volume. Coarser hair has more. Maltodextrin coats your hair and effectively increases the diameter, which makes it take up more space, because as chemicals go, maltodextrin is pretty chunky. It's an effective volumizing trick that doesn't involve any time in the salon. In chemistry, an emulsion is a liquid suspended in another liquid it won't mix with. Milk is the classic example of this. It's mostly water, but it's got fats and chunky proteins in it that normally won't dissolve in water, but are kept from separating out by the presence of an emulsifying agent. This shampoo is water-based as well, and some of these organic chemicals don't like being in water. Glycol stearate up there keeps everything in one phase and stops it separating in the bottle. As a side effect, it also gives the shampoo that nice pearly shiny effect. Many chemicals and products have an optimum pH range where they work best. The citric acid there is to bring the shampoo's pH to 5.5, which is on the acidic side, but still very weak. It's not melt-your-face acidic. Citric acid is the sour stuff on sour candy, and it's also a step in the complex biochemical process that your body uses to turn sugar into energy. You have citric acid in your cells right now, and it's perfectly normal. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what conditioner does. I never use it, and the rare times I've had to because I was in a hotel and forgot to bring my own, it made my hair feel greasy. Anyway, this stuff helps create a film on your hair that gives it that conditioned look. Hard water contains dissolved calcium and magnesium. The effect of those things on shampoo is to kill the foaming action. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The foam is for show. It's partly a side effect of the surfactants doing their job, and partially a marketing gimmick. It doesn't actually do anything. Some manufacturers add extra foaming agents to make it look more impressive. The micelles will still take the grease off your hair even if they can't foam. The only benefit I can see is that the foam increases the effective volume of the shampoo. It makes it easier to efficiently get it all over your hair. EDTA will bear hug the things that make hard water hard, a process called chelation, and stop them from killing the foam. It's red. That shampoo. It's a mixture of chemicals that's been carefully formulated to do its job, which is to clean and condition your hair and also smell nice. This stuff is serious business. Cosmetics companies employ research chemists to develop these formulations, and a lot of money and research goes into them before they hit the market, along with testing to ensure they don't pose any health or safety risks. Thanks for watching. I've been Steve.